Movie trailers. They're a thing that get hyped. Sometimes, days in advance. And I don't know about you. Actually, I think I do know about you. There's been a recent trend of downright spoilers in movie trailers, whether it is the whole plot that can be pieced together or certain characters being in the movie that maybe were meant to be a surprise by the director, or giving us scenes of like the film's climax and like the most like the thing that you're really looking forward to for the entire movie. This has been kind of an issue with me personally. I know that I've basically stopped watching Spider-Man Homecoming trailers. After the first one, I was like, I'm done. I'm going to go see the movie, but I'd rather not know so much about this. And it's been, honestly, for me, it's been a change of heart because I used to just eat up everything that I could. If there was a new trailer out, I'd watch it. But it kind of does take the thrill away of you going into a movie and generally not knowing what to expect. And I'm guessing you have the same sentiment.
Yep.
Well, great. Glad I was able to put words in your mouth.
I don't know, because like with some trailers, I feel like in the past, like watching them, I feel like I've seen the whole movie. It's like, all right, well, by, simple deduction skills, you can probably piece together the entire movie with the 3 trailers you released.
Right.
So, why am I seeing your movie again?
Right.
Because the surprise is ruined. It's like,
if you give me point A, B, and C, I'm a lot less inclined to go see how you get from point A to point B to point C.
Exactly. It's like video games. Like with video game trailers, they don't show you like the end all be all, like
no,
the person, like it's like something starts out okay, then the bad person shows up and ruins it all. Then it's the protagonist's job to fight against the bad guy. It's like, right. These are his moves. They don't show all of them, and if there are items, they don't show them all. So it's like you still have something to look forward to, and you want to get the stuff that was shown.
Right.
And then you have, like, it shows you, like, a few bosses, and it shows, like, an epic boss fight. And then it's like, oh, I don't know. That's why I love, like, the Dark Souls series, because it shows you, in the trailers, it's shown you, like, certain things. It doesn't show you all the bosses, but it shows you enough to, like, get you intrigued. And then, or I like to think with Bloodborne. The Bloodborne ending was really cool. Fighting against the dude that you've been, like, kind of assisting the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's the main bad guy, and he's, like, just stupid hard. And he has a really cool weapon. Like, Dark Souls 3, who did you fight at the end? Oh, yeah, the red dude. Like, didn't show that. That was a really cool fight because you kill him and then, like, all of a sudden, bam, full health bar again, and he's even stronger. It's like, I mean, this is the thing that's, like, happened in video games, but, like, it was cool.
Yeah.
And there was, like, entire levels. There's another thing about Dark Souls, like, there are entire levels that, like, you never even see in the trailer, so when you find them, you're like, what is this?
Yeah. And, on that point, one of my favorite trailers still to this day would have to be the trailer for Twilight Princess. They showed you some really cool things that you could do new in the game, and the one that like stuck out to everyone was taking a familiar item, the iron boots, and showing Link walking on a wall or a ceiling that is magnetized. We were all like, I remember everyone being like, oh my goodness, the iron boots are actually a cool item to use now. And it's like, when you play the game, like, or you talk to people about the game, like, the iron boots, yeah, they're cool, but there's a lot more cool stuff in that game that you get.
For instance, the boomerang, instead of just being like a projectile, it now makes a tornado which can pull things.
Also,
and blow things out.
You don't just get one claw shot, you get two. So you can Spider-Man in the game. And it was just, that kind of stuff is really awesome.
Item combination too.
Yeah, although that was a bit limited in Twilight Princess, but still a neat idea.
Yeah.
So David Lynch, who is the creator of Twin Peaks, had an interview with Rolling Stone, and he's basically saying that today's movie trailers are just downright ruining the experience of going to see a movie. And here's some of his comments. These days, movie trailers practically tell the whole story. I think it's really harmful. For me, personally, I don't want to know anything when I go into a theater. I like to discover it, get into that world, try to get as good of picture and sound as possible, no interruptions, so you can have an experience, and anything that putrefies that is not good. And I want to say a few others have also commented about this as well. Alan Taylor, who directed Terminator Genesis a couple years ago, he told Uproxx that he had spoken to Paramount Pictures about a number of issues he had with the couple of trailers. So the first trailer kind of made it look like Genesis was going to be a reboot of the series, and then the second trailer basically gives you all of these like massive spoiler things, like having I believe John Connor's he's like the T-1000, and then Reese is like a Terminator, like a T-1000, yeah, 2000, 9000. I get the ones mixed up, but basically John Reese is like the Arnold Schwarzenegger model, but what's his name? John Connor is like the liquid-based Terminator in that movie. And regardless of what your thoughts are on the movie, I didn't go. That is one movie that I'm like, I don't have to go see it now, because that would have been really cool to find out when I'm watching the actual movie. It was ridiculous just how much of the movie was spoiled with those trailers. And how movie trailers are made, the director doesn't make them. Like, there's not like a part of the film crew that edit it together. As movies are being made, they give completed shots or as close to being completed shots. Sometimes, you might see some differences in special effects being used, and whatnot. Sometimes there's entire scenes in trailers that are missing when they reshoot and re-edit.
I remember when I was really into the Percy Jackson series, when I heard that they were making a movie, I got really excited, because to this day, that's probably one of my favorite book series, but I don't really read a lot because not a lot of books really interest me. But that interested me as like a middle schooler, because I was really into like Greek mythology and stuff. When I heard the movie, I was like, that's so cool. I saw the trailer for it. I was like, I'll still see it, but it looks a little weird. I don't know, like, about some of this stuff, but like, I'll still see it. I watched the whole movie. There was a part in the trailer where they used a minigun in a car chase.
Mm-hmm.
Never saw a gun used in that whole thing.
Yeah.
So it's like, where did that go?
Rogue One had several scenes in the trailer that were never used. And so a movie trailer is just there to sell your movie. But so they're not made by the same film crew that's making the movie. They give, completed shots or close to completed shots to the studio. The studio then reaches out they basically contract a smaller editing studio to put a trailer together. They don't know the plot of the movie. They just work with what they have been provided by the studio. And then they make the trailer, they edit it together, they add music. If the studio likes it, it gets approved, and the trailer then gets released. So everything is kind of beyond the control of the director and the people who make the trailer. It's all up to the studio. So really the studios are to blame. I want to say that someone did mention, it looks like, so this is a Trevorrow, who was the, I want to say, director of Jurassic World, but he said that a lot of things in the trailers for that movie also gave away a lot of plot points he didn't really want to have in the trailers. He did say that this kind of marketing has historically been able to get a lot of people into theaters. So it's almost like the mentality is the more cool stuff you show in the trailer, like with The Mummy, that's coming out soon, with Tom Cruise. The whole plot point of him basically getting her powers and fighting this new mummy on her own level, that would have been so much cooler to have a reveal. But now it's like every time I see a trailer, like that's the main focus. He can't die. He survives an airplane crash. You know what would have been cool? Don't show any of that. Just let the movie sell itself without giving away all these things. So it's almost like, the more cool stuff we pack into this, because we only have like a minute and a half or like a minute to show people stuff. Well, don't show all the best parts. That's terrible. And there are several movies that do that, where just the best parts. That's you should have just watched the trailer.
I think there are a few trailers that I can think of where like, I think there may have been like a few other trailers that came out and like started to reveal stuff, but there were like a few that like the first trailers of these movies like didn't show anything, and it gave you like a sense of like what it was about without giving away like anything. Like I think I'm trying to think of what it was called. The most recent Superman movie. What was it called?
Man of Steel.
The Man of Steel. I think like the first trailer was like him like walking out, listening to like a recording of his father, and then like putting his fist down, and then like flying, and it was like Man of Steel.
Yeah.
Or like one of them was like you saw like a dude going from like a job to another job to another job, and then like there'd be like weird things. Like I think it showed like the truck being like impaled by a bunch of things, or like someone saving a bus. It was like, okay, yeah, it's Superman. Like he does stuff, and it didn't really give away like a whole bunch of stuff. And I think like later on they released stuff that revealed like the other Kryptonians fighting each other. It's like that would have been really cool to see in the movie.
Right,
Just
him
show,
getting
like,
thrown into the vault, the safe vault in the bank was a really cool shot. But they showed that in the trailer.
The Toy Story 3, the first trailer they revealed, wasn't even a trailer. It was just you heard the voices, like these iconic voices of the toys, just talking. And it was just like a black screen, and I was like, "Oh, what's going on?" And it was like, "You can't see anything. Where are we going?" And it's like you hear him driving away. It's like, what happened to him? And then like other trailers came along and like showed you what happened. It's like just having that and just being like Toy Story 3. Like there are plenty of people who loved the first and second Toy Story movies. Like they're gonna see the third one regardless. Yeah. Like I saw it like kind of just because I had to, or I felt like I had to. And then also one of the more recent, and I hope they leave it like this. I hope they don't do any other trailers. And I know you're not really a huge fan of this, but the Deadpool 2 trailer, I mean, like, the butt was weird, but it's Deadpool, so I guess, like, it gives them free range to do whatever.
Yeah.
But, like, that was handled, I feel like, pretty well. That's the only trailer they need. It's like, okay, Deadpool 2's coming out.
Yeah.
And it's like, they made him make fun of the superhero trope of getting in, like, a telephone booth and changing, but it took him a really long time to the point to where the crime happened, the dude died that he was trying to save, and he lays down on his dead corpse and starts eating his food.
Yeah.
And it's just, he starts talking about, like, his, like, story, and it's like, that's hilarious. And that's all I need to know that a Deadpool 2 trailer or movie is coming out.
And you know what? If that scene doesn't even take place in the movie, I'd be okay with that.
I doubt it will.
Because it's just there to let you know there's a second... See, with sequels, which is most of what Hollywood does nowadays anyways, with sequels, you have to sell the movie even less. Like... Transformers last night, I don't need to know going in that Optimus and Bumblebee are fighting each other. I don't need to know that. Let me find that out naturally. It used to be that on average, movies usually have about 3 trailers that get released. And it used to be that the second trailer was a slightly modified version of the first trailer. And then the third one would be just another slight modification to the second one. And they would show you mostly, it had the same flow, they would show you mostly the same scenes that you've seen in the first trailer, but maybe give you a little bit of an extra glimpse at some other things that are happening in it, to make it so that you're just like, okay, I've seen this already, I don't need to see the trailer again. And they would keep you, engaged a little bit. Now we're to the point where it seems like every single trailer always shows completely different things, so that, yeah, after 3 trailers, you've got close to 10 minutes of footage that you can piece together the whole thing fairly easily. And I feel like, to me, it's like you only need 1 trailer. If you want to do a teaser, I think teasers are really good, like that Toy Story 3 one that you mentioned. That was probably more of a teaser with just the sound and not showing anything. That's great. Or the Man of Steel one. I think that was also an example of a teaser. You have 1 teaser, and then you have 1 trailer that shows you a couple of cool things, but that's it.
I'd honestly just be fine with a teaser. If it's something that I care about, I'm going to go see it. If it's something that I don't really know, but you show me the whole movie, I have no reason to go see it now.
I do think some people need more than just like a 30-second, teaser for something to get them more interested. One thing I used to complain about with movie trailers is you need to, don't just assume that I know what it is you're marketing. You have to give me something to go on. Actually, now that I think about it, because I've been to the movie theaters like twice in these past 2 weekends, one trailer that does a really good job of making me intrigued is, I believe it's called Valerian, City of a Thousand Planets. Have you heard of that movie?
Yeah.
The trailer is actually, like, the latest trailer out there actually has me very interested, just because they show all of the spectacle and all the, like, really cool effects. It kind of looks like an Avatar movie, but good.
It makes me think of if it was a movie entirely based on the Gateway in Treasure Planet.
Yeah, except,
but like a planet of just gates.
Yeah, but I don't think Treasure Planet. I don't get that at all.
Oh no, not like it reminds me of Treasure Planet. Just the concept of the movie is like they're able to travel like a bunch of worlds in one world. Mm-hmm. So I just thought of like the warp gate that could like make you travel from like one side of the universe to the other. Yeah. It's a very small and tiny comparison that really doesn't work. So I don't know why I brought it up.
Well, don't. But no, I want to say that I have an idea of what the movie could be about, but I can't piece it together because they didn't give me enough information, which is how you should cut a trailer. Assume that your audience has never heard, I know it's weird, but assume your audience has never heard of Spider-Man. So you're going to have to show Spider-Man do a couple of things that Spider-Man does.
Like swing from buildings.
Crawl up a wall. Maybe have spider sense.
Shoot a bad guy with web.
Yeah. Show 3 powers that he can do. Okay? Just to let people know this is what the superhero can do in case they've been living under a rock for the past 60 years.
Those are all 3 of his powers.
He's got 5.
Wall climb, spidey sense, webbing.
Super strength. Super agility.
That's more of enhancements.
Durability still.
While we're at it, I guess the webbing's really not even a part of him either. It's made.
Right. It's yeah. Which always kind of bothered me about Spider-Man. I kind of liked how they did it in the Sam Raimi films where it was just organic. I was like, cool. He never runs out of it. That's awesome. But, that's not original. That's not the original storyline. But I'm in total agreement with these directors that want more control over what goes into the trailers. It's like these movies are gonna sell just fine. You don't have to spoil things. And the studios just need to stop it, because I do think they're going to get to a point where they really do go overboard and it becomes a real problem and it actually starts to reflect the sales.